welcome back to Sunday Chirps, episode 10, hosted by Max and myself. This episode is presented by Bad Birdie Golf, and today we're going through the electric first round of the 2023 NHL playoffs so far, midway through the first round. And a lot of unexpected things have happened. It's been super exciting. But before we get started, Max, what have you been up to this last week, this weekend?
Not much. We've been going out a little bit, enjoying my last couple of weeks at school. Not much to say about that. And I also golfed today. It was pretty fun. We played our first 18 of the year. It's finally warm up here, enough to do it. What about you?
No, I mean not a whole lot. Played some golf for the weekend. I think Sunday I played like 27 holes, something crazy like that.
God damn.
Oh, I went to a seafood festival on Saturday. Very
Yeah.
subpar seafood though. It's a real shame. But the beer was flowing and there's live band, so it was a good time. Went with some of the boys. But yeah, let's jump into this episode. But real quick, let's go through Bad Birdie. So this episode's brought to you by Bad Birdie. If you're out on the golf lanes, just playing, even just relaxing, this stuff is just such high quality. Like I love just wearing my Bad Birdie polo. I'll wear that to work sometimes too. I wore it to golf over the weekend. Really comfy. Got a nice material, and I would recommend going and get yourself some. Use code Jared15. That is JARROD 15 for 15% off at badbirdiegolf.com. And now we begin the recap of the playoffs so far. So we got 7 teams facing elimination so far. Um, our first series we're going to kind of dive through is the Panthers Bruins. So this has definitely been a little surprising, I'd say. Um,
Yeah,
what
a
are your
little
thoughts,
bit.
Max?
Um, so first series starts out very weird with the stomach bug running through their locker room, the Bruins, and it might be a little President's Trophy curse. We don't know. Um,
Yeah, I think it was
and then
Olmark, Marchand,
yeah,
Bergeron, and Pasternak. Like all some of the top names, all were just not feeling great.
and then game one. I mean, we saw how the Bruins play. I mean, they're just one of the best teams we've ever seen in hockey, like so far, and they just absolutely are dialed in. And then a couple costly mistakes are just hurting them at the moment, and Panthers staying alive. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean it's been pretty wild. I think it was no one saw it turning to 1-1, leaving Boston and going to Florida with a tied series. I don't think it was on anyone's radar. I
Yeah,
think if anything, this is going to be that sweep round. But I mean, facing injury, Bergeron didn't play the first 3 or 4 games. Now Krejci's out. I mean, this Panthers team is just they're digging deep. Um, they're playing some good hockey. I know they threw Bobrovsky in. He actually
yeah.
played lights out yesterday. Um, but I mean, at the end of the day, the Bruins were up 3-1. They're now up 3-2. I just don't see the Bruins losing three straight. And that's just I think Panthers were just too late,
No.
and they really could have just dug in just a bit sooner, which is a real shame. Sorry about that, having just a bunch of annoying technical difficulties. But let's kind of jump forward to the Oilers Kings series. Got a lot going on here, Max. You want to kick us off?
Yeah, we do. I saw this on Spitting Chicklets this morning. Biz was comparing McDavid and Drysdale if they win a cup, comparing it to the Jordan and Pippen, that good of a dynamic duo. Now I thought this was kind of a stretch, a little bit, but like they are just like elite. I mean, like no one has put up 150 points in like what, like 20 years. So like
I think
that's
even
just like
longer.
is that just like insane to do? I kind of see the comparison though. Like really, it's like they are that good. What do you think?
Like, I think in a teammate sense, like the two of them, what they're doing in the NHL is, I guess, on that same level of what Jordan and Pippen are doing. Except, I think this is the biggest part where the differentiator is
Hmm.
they aren't winning cups, and I think you could be like you're on a team like it's a team sport, so you really just can't. You could be amazing during the regular season, but if the job doesn't get done and the ultimate goal, like that shows who the greatest NHL players are, NHL teams are, is winning that Stanley Cup. So I think ultimately you do need to win a Stanley Cup, but I do think it is harder. Um, I mean, you're two of 22 players on an NHL team versus really like Jordan could play the whole game. McDavid could only be out there
Yeah.
for 32 minutes, and that's a
Yep,
stretch.
that's a difference between basketball and hockey. I mean, you could just play for 40 plus minutes in basketball, and like you could touch the ball probably every single time that you're on offense, and like in hockey, you just can't. It doesn't work like that. You're gonna get double teamed, like in the pace. You're moving so fast.
And if Jordan has his head down dribbling down the court, like he doesn't get lit the fuck up by like some like you don't have like some train coming through. Like if McDavid has his head down for like a split second, it could be good night for him,
Yeah. Yep.
which I think is a
True.
big differentiator too. But no, I mean they're definitely unreal. There's no doubt. Drysdale is actually technically the Michael Jordan in this situation right now. Because
Yeah,
in
he is.
playoffs, what is he? He's averaging 1.63 or 1.64 points a game, right
Hmm.
behind Wayne Train. So, I mean, special stuff from the whole team. Unreal.
Really,
Uh,
truly is.
and then McDavid, I saw a video today that he soreness in the leg and not looking 100% in practice. So, Oilers fans, I'd be a bit scared. Your big man's not looking 100%.
It is. It's true. Also that the Oilers, a lot of injuries going on. Jan Mark, which is very hard to say, but happens. I mean, it's a playoff run. You're going to see some injuries happen.
Yeah, and I mean these two teams. I mean the Kings. Kings definitely have a little bit of veteran presence. They've got some players that have won the cup. Um, Crazy that they don't
Kopitar,
have Quick. Yeah, Kopitar's been balling out. And Kempe. I mean, look, they have a great depth on the offense.
yeah,
Affalo, Korpisalo's been playing great in net. Actually, Copley went in today, but no, I mean that team has a ton of depth. Um, Not the Oilers do too. I mean, they grabbed Hyman. They've got Evander Kane putting up points. I
yeah.
mean, you
Vander
got
Kane, sneaky guy that's putting up the lead points.
Ekholm's playing well. They're getting some goaltending. Look, I mean, if there was ever two teams in the Western Conference that should be in the Western Conference Final, it'd be these two. I think either of these two could be in the Stanley Cup Final, and it's just a shame that they're playing the first round.
Yeah,
Another
I
reason
mean,
that 1 through 8 should be a thing.
yeah, it's a playoff format. I mean, well, it'll change probably soon. They'll probably like this kind of matchup. They'll see how like banged up teams are getting, and like, all right, we kind of need to shift it back a little bit, make it easier for these teams and get rewarded.
Yeah.
Like they both have what like over 100 and like over 100 points both these teams, and they're still having to put up dog fights like this.
Yeah, the 2 and 3 seeds, I think it goes for kind of both sides, like Toronto, Tampa, Rangers, Devils. I think less so for Wild and Dallas, but
Yeah,
still, I mean, a lot going on, and it's been an unreal series. I mean, OT games. LA blew a 3-0 lead, and Oilers capitalized.
that was a
No lead's
crazy
good
game.
anymore.
No, it's not. That was a crazy game.
So let's jump forward. Let's go to Jets Vegas series. This one actually has not been as exciting as the last couple we kind of touched on, but
Mm,
I think a big part of that is due to injuries, which is a real shame. The Winnipeg Jets are missing like their entire like power play, not entire power play, but they're missing Morrissey, who could even be a Norris Trophy winner this year.
yep.
Um, we got Perfetti, Mark Scheifele, Ellers, like so many key players that team are missing, and I just think it's pretty wild. Like if they're not gonna be able to get past Vegas down 3-1, especially with all those players missing. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they're pretty much eliminated at this point. I don't think that they're like kind of like in it because they just don't have like elite stars on this team. like Shifley is good, a very elite player, but like he's not the star that can like lift them out of the first round over Vegas. Like they're a good team, Vegas. I mean, they just used the loophole, the long-term injury list to get Shifley. Mark Stone back. That was huge for them to get their captain back, and like that'll be a momentum push for them.
And Stoner had a 2 goal night on 420. Stoner getting stoned. But no, I mean, so I think does going in, there's a chance that Scheifele will come back. I mean, you still have Kyle Connor, but Morrissey's out.
Yeah.
Hellbuck's not even playing up to his absolute best. So I think we're looking at the series
Oh
that
my
tonight.
god. All right. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We will now transition on to Carolina versus the Islanders. Currently, the series is 3-2 in Carolina's favor. Isles are staying alive, though. Huge win that they needed to stay alive. But it really is such boring games, I cannot lie, watching. They're so slow paced and just on the board play that leads to like one or two goals a game. But that's just how these teams play. If you want to take over now,
Yeah, I mean, it's just really pretty boring hockey. The only thing exciting I like to watch in those games, I like to watch the Carolina's penalty kill. I know it's like the oddest thing, but they run a man coverage penalty kill, which is like the only team that does it. And they run an excellent penalty kill. Don't know statistically where they stand up, but I mean, look, the Islanders are just a gritty team. They're just a real bitch to play against. And
bro.
when Carolina's missing all of their best players, basically, we got ourselves a match. Svechnikov's out, Pacioretty, Teravainen, Jack Drury. Not that he's one of the best players, but he's still a solid player. And then the Islanders are missing Wallstrom, which isn't like a detrimental player. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, Carolina's got to get the job done. But makes me believe that Carolina or Islanders in the next round aren't going to make it far. I think this is their last, or next round will be the last one. Um, but yeah, that's really just what we're looking at. Any last
And
thoughts?
do you have Carolina moving on, or do you have Islanders? I have Carolina. I think that they'll close it out at the UBS. I don't think this will go to seven.
Yeah, I mean, I think hockey has the most versatility for an upset, but
Yeah,
I don't see any team losing three straight. So I guess that goes to the Rangers too, which we'll get to later. But I don't see Carolina losing the series. I guess if it goes to seven, it's a toss up, but I think they closed out tonight as well, or tomorrow when
yeah,
they play.
yeah. Tomorrow.
But yeah, moving forward, we've got the Kraken versus the Avalanche.
Yeah, electric series. We see that as well from Mikhail Makar getting suspended. I think he absolutely blows someone up, right? Or was
McCann,
it? Yeah, he
McCann.
blew him up, and it was just this is an insane series. McKinnon is on fire. It's really you love to see that too. Like when he plays very similar to how McDavid plays when he's on fire, playing at extremely fast pace. And also that there's this unexpected lead by the Kraken, though. They're breaking through. We're trying every way possible to get through the Avalanche, defending champs. They're figuring it out. You want to? I want to understand why, Jared. Why is that the case?
I mean, look, I think one aspect is the injuries. I think the Avs, they're missing Nichushkin, Landeskog, their captain's out. Not only is he an unreal player, but his leadership as well is something big on the ice.
Yeah,
McCarr's out now, Darren Helm. Um, and the hit on the hit McCarr made was just late. It was like the play was nowhere near, and he took out McCann. I think that's one of the big things that the officials look at now and the league looks at. Like
yeah.
he injured
Head
McCann, so now he's suspended too.
head contact without even the puck near him. It's probably given, well, guaranteed a suspension right there.
Yeah, and
That's a
McCann
huge.
is. Go
They're
ahead.
both huge blows to have to lose. And I would say McCarr is way more like needed right now at what the series is looking like.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's crazy. And I actually saw a little tidbit that when Cale McCarr was out the second half of the year, the Avs went 17-2-3, I think. So they can still get the job done. They're defending champs, Kraken surprise in the world, and
Yeah.
really surprising stuff. And on top of that, Ty Carty, I'm pretty sure I messed up that name, but he gets called up to the NHL, undrafted, plays his first game Wednesday night, which was last night for us right now.
Yep.
Scores a goal. His parents are there. Like, look, everything's coming up Seattle right now. It's cool to see.
It is. You do love to see that new I mean, the arena is buzzing when they scored. I mean, that's what you love to see, like new franchises. I mean, Vegas is still like a hot place for hockey right now.
100%. But yeah,
So series predictions. How do you think this will end?
all right. They're going back to it's going to game 6 in Seattle.
Yes,
I think it's over. I think Seattle shut it down.
I think so too. No, I think it's going to seven, but I think Seattle can still pull it out. I think they could find a way to win this. It's
Yeah,
a real dog. This is a dog fight. Like this is who will come out on top is like it will be struggling next series to skate.
yeah, I think this game 6 it's going to come down to overtime and it's going to be just who's going to get the like which one's going to find the net first, and that's all it
Yeah,
is. Just who's going to get that bounce. It could just be unlucky and Seattle ends it, or it could be fortunate kick for Avalanche and they stay alive. But that's kind of what I see happening. Um,
good prediction. Good one.
but let's move forward to the Wild Stars. Starting off, I mean, every game the refing and the officiating has been horrendous. I think the Wild Stars might have been the worst end of all of it. I mean, Marcus
Yeah.
Foligno, I mean, he even said in his press conference, he said it was bullshit, all of his calls. And I actually tend to agree. I didn't see the second one, the minor penalty he had, but the knee to knee he got called for, it was not knee to knee. He did not stick his leg out. He would have been endangering himself by doing that, and he did not. He just stayed still, and he's a brick wall. So that's crazy that he got a game misconduct for that. Um, I don't know. Did you see that play as well?
No, I did. It's just playoff hockey, and like the refs need to understand that like the pace is just going to increase by like 10% more than what the regular season is going to have. So like you're going to have crazy situations where like collisions happen like that. I mean, if you're going to call that, like review it and stuff. I mean, they have to review it. They obviously saw something, but like it's just like a shock to see that happen.
Yeah, it just seems to be the league going soft. And then what do you think about the Gustafson Flurry? I mean, all season they were alternating every game, but do you think
Yeah.
you continue that going into playoffs?
Yeah, I know that's always a big problem when you have a two-headed monster in net. Like when that happens, because you don't know who to go to. I mean, you really just got to go with who's hot for the night. If Gustafson, oh, who won the two games they played? Was it split or no?
Gustafson.
So you might as well. I would say keep him in because they won with him. But like, if I mean they're down in the series, so like that they need that like energy maybe from Flurry to get it going.
Yeah, I mean, Gustafson started off game 1, they won. He had like
Yeah,
47 saves. I think it was like the Minnesota record. And then they throw Flurry in. Like, I know you've been playing alternating all year long, but if a goalie comes in that hot and that dominant, I don't
yeah,
know how you don't start it. And then game 2, he gets Flurry starts and gets blown. The doors get blown off the fucking hinge, and it's seven. They put up 7 goals on Flurry. So I don't know.
that's just what happens when you play two goalies the whole year. That's the only problem with it. I mean, Gus
Yeah.
Flurry will retire soon, and Gustafson will have his role there. And I mean, I don't have any problem with what the Wild are doing. They'll be a good team for the future.
No, I agree. I just feel like you gotta like if the heat's in Gustafson's
Yeah,
kitchen, you don't change it.
yep. You don't. That's definitely a dumb move they did to play Flurry game two.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to injuries in that series. Huge one to Pavelski. I mean, he got cracked in the head, right? He was like on the ground. His head was down. Maybe
Yeah.
concussion protocol for sure. At least out a week. So I mean, if they can get through this series, they'll have him right back, and that'll
He's
be a
day to
huge
day
spark.
tomorrow.
Also, even if that's a huge spark for them. Also, Joel Eriksson Ek, I believe, has been hurt. It's a sad thing to see.
He's
Any
just on the
thoughts?
depth of the Wild. Yeah, he just kind of
Yep,
brings in some good veteran experience. So definitely stings a bit, but it is what it is.
there's nothing you can do. All right, so let's transition on to probably. Oh, let's do predictions first for this series. Who do you
I
think is
like
going
it.
to come out?
Um, I think Stars in 7. I think Wild will pick up a game. I think Pavelski kind of you had Seguin step into that role. Sagan step into that role. He's kind of been playing because he's a Sagan. Is it Sagan or Seguin?
Sagan.
Sagan. Sagan's kind of stepped up into that Pavelski role, even though Sagan's a great player as well. So that's really good to see. And I mean, the Stars just have so many stars. Well,
Yeah.
literally, Stars have so many like
Literally.
huge players. Yeah. I mean, Rupe Hintz has been balling out. Robo's been unreal, and Jake Ottinger in net has been just a wizard. So I don't see the Dallas Stars losing 2 straight, and that's just what I'm seeing. What about you?
Yeah, I don't see them losing two straight. Um, I don't. I think the Wild honestly come out with this. I love Zuccarello in this series. I think he's playing really good, and also Kaprizov is back for them, right? So like that.
Yeah,
So like that's just like another like piece to it. I think if these two can like get like a 3 points like tomorrow, they can get this to seven, and then they could win that seven.
yeah. I think part of the reason the Wild's not ahead is Kaprizov has been kind of cold. He hasn't been
Yeah.
putting up those Kaprizov numbers. So if he gets hot, I think it could be a game changer.
Yep.
But then you add Pavelski back in, and it's a little boost. And I don't see the Stars losing, but who
Sure.
knows?
This is another really close one though, and we this is definitely going to seven.
Yeah, I think that's a good take. But yeah, let's jump forward to the Tampa Toronto series. A lot of excitement here. I think a lot of unexpected moments, and I think first off, Vasilevsky is kind of statistically the worst goalie right now in playoffs, which I think about every other year we've said he's been nothing but maybe the best goalie in playoffs.
Yeah,
So
easily.
really crazy stuff going on right now. A 3-1 lead for Toronto, just unreal. Got some suspensions going, some injuries. I don't know, Max. Do you want to take it?
Yeah. Bunting. We saw him go down for a suspension. I think he also had got one similar to Kale McCarr where he clipped someone. So it's that's and then after that he gets health bombed and has to sit because they won the game and they don't want to give up that lineup again. So they want to keep Bunting out. I mean, if you're gonna win with that lineup in, keep it in.
Yeah, but I think to that degree too. I think it was like game 2 and 3 or 3 and 4 that they won,
Yeah,
and Chernak's out, and as well as Hedman was out, and I
yeah.
think top two D really besides Sergachev, that was a big hit in the Lightning. Um,
But I
but
think Edmund's back, right?
Hedman's back, Chernak's still out. That was the hit
Yeah.
that Bunting got suspended for was on Chernak.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I
So
mean,
I mean,
it's playoff hockey. Like people are getting run into like really hard. I mean, they're just being really, really soft with the calls. I just see it.
yeah. And Charlie Mack has been running. He's been just lighting it up with hits. I mean, that's playoff hockey. You're gonna see like 50% more
Yeah,
hits, and everyone's finishing their hit. Like you can't get away with oh, you're gonna go in the corner. Like you're getting lit the fuck up if you go in the corner. So keep your head
yep.
on a swivel.
All right, and also, can the Leafs finally break the curse that they've been dreading for so long to get past his first round? Do you think so, Jared?
All right, here's the truth. I don't know, obviously, but my 2 cents is depends what team we're getting from Tampa. If Hedman's coming in 100%, Kucherov, Stamkos, Point, they come in ready to ball. They could come back and win 3 straight. Like if there was
Yep.
ever a team to blow it, it'd be these Maple Leafs. I'm pretty sure they blew 3-1 leads in 2 of the last 4 years. So it's not out of the question.
No,
They're
it's not.
going this game's game 5 now. They're going to Tampa. So
Hmm.
it's back home. No, is it in Toronto or Tampa?
No, it's in Toronto.
Yeah, it's going to Toronto. Road teams have been winning a lot of games. So I think if Toronto wants to close out and win, it might have to be this game because if Tampa gets hot tonight,
Yeah,
Vasilevsky plays what we know Vasilevsky's capable of doing.
and he can
I think
easily win.
Tampa
Sorry, he can
exactly.
easily win 3 games. There's no doubt in my mind that Vasilevsky can do that. And also, if they put up like 5 goals tonight, they're easily going to win this series. And also, Leafs fans need to relax because even if they do beat your Tampa, sorry, they did not win the cup yet. Job is not finished. Remember that, Leafs fans. Job is not finished.
Yeah, so they got their work cut out. Now let's jump to oh, yeah, so we talked about that. What do you say? You think what how many games do you think?
I think if they win tonight, it's Leafs. But if they lose tonight, it might go Tampa. I might go Tampa as well. I might be jumping on that ship.
Yeah, I don't know. I just 20 years. I feel like they gotta break the streak. The Leafs look good.
20
I'm gonna
years.
say Leafs, if they're gonna do it, they're a gentleman sweep them. So I'm gonna say Leafs in 5,
Okay.
but
I
guess we'll
have
see.
I have Tampa in 7.
I like it. Now we jump to the Battle of the Hudson. Um, I feel like we've seen two different teams here. The Devils looked god awful the first 2 games, made
Yep.
a little goalie change, feeling a little bit better. I think the Rangers looked unreal the first 2 games, and they just were so sloppy the last 2 games. And there's a whole bunch of reasons why. We can kind of dive into that now.
Same situation. Rangers were in this exactly the same part. Against Tampa. I mean, we won game 1 and game 2. Lose game 3s and games 4s. I mean, they need to figure out a way to slow down Jack Hughes. I mean, he is out of this world. He's playing way above everyone else on the ice. Players like Fox, they need to start coming back to life. I mean, he had 6 assists in 2 games, broke some records in the way. Um, that just needs to happen, and we need to put goals up in front of Igor because he is still on fire. I mean, if he came right out of the regular season, came right to playoffs, he was ready to go, and he's pretty much the only one showing up besides the kid line. What else
Yeah.
do you think, Jared?
No, I mean, I hate to agree with Pasha, that fucker, who loves the Devils, but I think the Devils look like the better 5-on-5 team.
Yeah,
Goaltending both looks good both ways. And so I think the big game changer is going to be that special teams. And what we saw in the first 2 games was Kreider scoring 4 power play goals first 2 games.
yep,
When you put in these special teams goals, like these are must goals, because if the Rangers are the worst 5-on-5 team, they better be the best damn power play team out there. Although the Oilers they're like 57% of the power play, which
pretty
is
close.
ridiculous. But the Rangers 0-8 in their last power plays in the last 2 games. Couldn't score 1 power play goal. That's why you
Yep.
lost. If you don't start scoring these power play goals, which you're known for, you might have the most stacked power play I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Um, Go back to the old school. They're putting Micah back door.
Mika.
Mika back door. He needs to go there and rip those one-timers and get back on track with the power play. And that'll be the
Sure.
game difference, because 5-on-5, the Devils might be better, but they're not several goals better, whereas the Rangers power play is several goals better than the Devils.
Yeah,
So that's
that's
what
a
it come
good
down to.
analogy right there. That's a good analogy right there. I really like that line. We are just better than them on the special teams unit, and if they do not convert, it's going to be a hard time for them to get 5-on-5 goals. Like we see it. I mean, they're gritty as can be. Like the Devils, they'll get in the corner and fight for the puck. Like they have the forechecking like speed. I mean, if any team I was scared to play in the first round, it was them. Like truly.
Yeah, and with the refs calling everything and nonstop penalties, you can't go 0 for 8. You don't
No,
deserve to win if
you
you do
can't.
that. So these refs calling the penalties, we got to get the job done on the special teams, and that's where the teams will win.
Yeah.
Um, so let's run through real quick our entire predictions and from the top down. So starting with Panthers Bruins, who do you have winning that series?
Bruins in 6.
I agree. Oilers Kings.
Um, Oilers are ahead, right?
Yep, they're up
Who's
three
home?
two.
Who is home next game?
They're going to LA.
I think Oilers in 7.
I like that. I totally agree. I was gonna say the same thing. We got Jets versus Vegas.
I think this is over. Vegas in 5.
Yep, I couldn't agree more. Carolina. I was gonna like it's crazy. Carolina versus Islanders. They're going back to Carolina.
I think this is over. I think Carolina in 6.
Yep. I don't think. Yeah, I think they go to Carolina. It's over. All right, I'll start this
Yeah,
one off. Kraken, Colorado. I think it's going to 7, and I think you know what? I think I said earlier that the Kraken in 7, but I think if Colorado wins this game 6, I think it's Colorado in 7. They're gonna dig deep. McCarr's gonna come back. I think there's just not enough experience. I think Colorado in 7.
I have Kraken in 6 because
I
they don't
like
have
it.
McCarr.
I like it. All right, we got Wild and Stars. So I think this goes back to Dallas tonight or tomorrow
Yeah,
night, right? Is it tomorrow
tomorrow.
night the
Yeah,
game?
yeah, tomorrow.
So I don't know. I think I'm gonna say Dallas in 7.
I agree.
Um,
No, actually, I have Wild in 7.
ooh, I like it. So does it go back to Dallas tomorrow or is it in Minnesota tomorrow? I'm trying to look right now because that'll change my
Dallas is,
input.
I believe, is home ice advantage. So
So
if the
then it should
game
be
it's
Minnesota.
in Minnesota,
Okay, so then I'm gonna change my mind and I'm gonna say Dallas in 6. I think they're gonna get on the road. I think the road teams have been hot, and I've got Dallas winning in 6.
wow, bold, bold.
Bold. Now Tampa versus Leafs, and I don't have a chicken dicks idea what's gonna happen here.
Fact.
Um, I think it's whoever wins the next game is winning the series. That's my take. Toronto wins, it's over. And if Tampa wins, I think they're winning out. So
That's
I
a
think
good
it's a
take.
momentum game.
That's a good take, and I agree with that completely. Everything you just said.
All right, now it's our bias towards Rangers Devils. I don't think either of us could say the Devils gonna win, whether it is true or not.
No, we just can't. We can't even leave a prediction for this. Rangers in 6.
I'm gonna say Rangers in 7, but yeah, that's about as good as we could go. A couple key takeaways from the playoffs so far.
Yep.
Um, so many games are going to OT. It's just unreal.
You'd love to
Um,
see that. We'd
yeah,
love to see that. 'Cause that's like what we love about the playoffs. The sudden death, like no shootout anymore. We don't. You don't have. I don't have to hear you bitch and moan about it.
seriously, and no 3-on-3 on the OT either.
Maybe that's like a future rule. Maybe they'll go with the 3-on-3 for 20 minutes. I mean, that would be really cool for me.
I would rather. I don't know who said this, but I'd rather see it start 5-on-5 in OT for the first 10 minutes,
And then
and then
no, they should do by period. Then they should do first overtime 5-on-5, second 4-on-4, third 3-on-3.
that's a. I was gonna say 10 minutes go to 4-on-4, and then
That's too.
5 minutes
That's
3-on-3.
there's no way they would do that. It's way too confusing.
Yeah, you're probably right. But anyway, jumping forward, officiating has been god awful. And any last things before we jump to other sports, real quick?
I can't really think. I mean, the officiating has been really, really soft. I mean, some very close calls. I mean, on both sides for Rangers and Devils, we've been getting blessed with a good amount. From what I've seen, I mean, I've seen like the Islanders game. There's been the same thing, like very, very soft calls. From what I've seen,
Yeah, I tend to agree. A lot
That's my
going
last
on.
point. Last point I got for that.
All right. And I just was thinking about this the other day when I saw Aaron Rodgers get traded to the Jets. I think Aaron Rodgers is like that big name brand, like the Patty Kane. And I can't get over seeing Patty Kane in a Rangers jersey, and I can't get over seeing Aaron Rodgers in a Jets jersey.
That's your boy.
Yeah. So as Giants fans, like it's just crazy. Now I got to root for the Jets sometimes too. I don't know. I guess I'd love to see a Jets Giants Super Bowl. That would be
Oh
unreal.
God, I would actually like kill myself or something. That would be like a disaster.
And then on the
Imagine New
flip,
Imagine New York during that time. If that
oh
would
my
happen,
God, it'd be a riot.
it would.
And then
And
jumping back to the NHL, we could see a Rangers Islanders next round. That would be probably worse. I think there would be fights in the streets.
yeah, there would easily. The Ranger fans would come to the UBS and just actually just start with the Islanders. We just know that would happen. They would pay a lot of money, Ranger fans. I mean, they paid for the Garden anyway.
Hell yeah. No, it'd be fights in the parking lot.
Yeah, it would. Moving on, we have Knicks are moving on to the second round. Love to see that. I mean, they're actually playing very solid basketball, and I don't know if you know a lot, but they Jalen Brunson and is just like on one right now. I don't even understand. He's like not from this planet, and
Yeah.
we face the Heat next round. Jimmy Butler.
Damn, maybe I'll have to go
He,
to a Miami game, Miami Knicks
oh,
game.
that would be sick. There's probably gonna be a lot of Knicks fans. Knicks fans travel.
Yeah. And there's also a lot of Knicks fans. There's a lot of New York
Yeah,
fans here
just
in
in
South
general.
Florida.
Yeah, true. Snowbirds. They gotta leave
Seriously.
soon.
Yeah, everyone's kind of packing up now, so it's kind of emptying out a bit. But appreciate you guys listening. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, and there will be links below. Stay tuned for more content.